Next, we will explain the written test for our Cisco's EI track, the 350401 core exam. The 7th sub-question among the 54 practical operation questions we are currently taking in the written test. So, regarding the configuration of EEM on this router of ours. So the requirements of the question are very simple. If we find that this Loopback 0 interface is shut down by the manager, someone entered a shutdown command in the interface, so it can automatically bring this port back up. So in terms of this question, our approach to solving it is like this. It's actually very simple to enable it to automatically execute certain command line instructions using EEM. So we will give it a trigger condition like this with EEM. So the triggering conditions are actually easy to find, because what we request is for Loopback 0 to be shut down by the manager. If this interface goes down, there will definitely be a system log generated. So copy what's on that device exactly the same way. There will also be logs appearing after the interface is down. So let's approach this question in this way. Let's open up such an environment. So each question has pre-configuration. So let's take a look once we get started. After logging into the router, the interface in the exam room is actually quite similar to this login interface. Similar style. So after we come in, let's enable it. Let's first take a look at the configuration of this device. Let's take a look at our interfaces. Any questions? Just in case I accidentally lead you astray. So having a Loopback 0 address is no problem. Same as shown in the diagram. Now we can proceed with the operation. First, let's talk about this interface. Let's manually bring it down interface. Loopback 0. We manually bring it down once. So after it goes down, there will definitely be logs generated. Let's make use of this log to serve as the starting condition for our EEM. So what needs to be noted is it says if our Loopback 0 is administratively shut down. So actually, all we need is this interface. Just need the logs that are down. No need for logs on this link. Of course, Loopback 0 doesn't have any links originally. We only need this part of the logs. So regarding this timestamp earlier, we don't need to replicate. Such a log level information and so on, there's actually no need to move. We only need this part at the back. Just compare this main log. So after copying and saving it, we will bring this port back up. Restart it. So next, let's proceed with the operation. First of all, create an EEM Event Manager applet. So give it a name. So about the name. Of course, we can come up with anything. For example, with EEM, it's a bit simpler. So there are no other requirements for this question. Just requiring an EEM. It also did not mention the name of this EEM. You can just come up with one yourself. Let's give it a trigger condition, event syslog. If we detect this router, a system log appears. Pattern, all the content of our log, use quotation marks for it. Our double quotes wrap it up. Take the information we copied before, just paste it in. Paste it, and then enter. We set up such a event manager trigger conditions. And then, when it appears in such a log, the statements we let this router execute with EEM. Give it this step, just write it down. For example, the first step, action, such as 1.0 step 1. Once we detect the generation of logs, we configure this router. Automatically input command line instructions. What to input after we come in and enter the router? Step 1. Enable achieved level 15, administrator privileges. And then the second step after coming in. So what can you use? Action 1.1? Anything like 1.2 is fine. So on our side, it's a bit more explosive. Action 2.0 looks more formal in comparison. Step 2, CLI input command line. After entering enable configure terminal, of course you can be lazy. For example, configure T is also possible. You don't have to type all of it. Then step 3. What about action? Our 3.0 step 3. After we let him in, after entering our global mode, let him be automatically input interface loopback 0. Of course, you can also be lazy, just int loopback 0. This way works too, it's also okay. Actually, there isn't any demand, right? Of course, there is a command that interrupts here. Unexpected log entry. Don't worry about this thing, just a little rascal suddenly running over. Then the fourth step. Once we enter the port, let's have him type a sentence manually, no shutdown. Turn on this port by yourself. And then, in the fifth step, we let him return to what we have. Just use the special training mode. Of course, the fifth step can actually be omitted. It doesn't matter if you don't write. So, let me just add a word here. No big deal. So exit done. Check the command line. Let's go to show running config section event. Take a look. If we detect the generation of such a log, we enable the router ourselves. Config terminal, interface, loopback 0, no shutdown exit, done. Let's test the phenomenon. Let's go handmade now. Give us the loopback 0 of this router. Now take him down if he can motivate himself to succeed. So after you see it go down, our EEM automatically occupies the VTY line. Going to configure this router now. So what did he give him? No shutdown command, the port is up. Once this phenomenon is confirmed to be normal, let's just end it directly. WR save configuration. Be sure to save. Be sure to save the configuration, because the question is very clear. He said save your configuration to NVRAM before moving to the next item. You must finish before the next question. Save this question. So this question is done. How are you, family? Of course, there are 54 more questions. In the following, a part of it. A portion of the questions, we will gradually put it up for analysis. Of course, we also have a corresponding experimental environment. If needed, feel free to contact us later. Okay, that's it. See you in the next question. Goodbye.